Hey, I'm Tiki Barber. Be terrific.
Books and Greetings is a phenomenal bookstore in Northvale, New Jersey. This store has the old school feel and charm, and yet a great cutting edge approach. They've got a really great selection of books, toys, and greeting cards, and a whole lot more. The staff is friendly and knowledgeable, and they have a lot of great book signings all the time. Wednesday, New York Giants legend Tiki Barber was in store to sign copies of his newest book, Extra Innings.
We have had, my twin brother and I have written 12 children's books, and this is our latest. Most of them were football based, but we decided to move out of it. So we got into basketball and then finally into baseball, which was a sport we only played a little bit. But the lessons that you can pass on through sport are so prevalent in writing. And so we found a little niche. Boys don't like to read all the time. And so if you write books about sports with athletes that they know, then you can get them involved in learning things that they otherwise wouldn't find unless they found it in books. And so Extra Innings is about playing a game for the first time and learning the ins and outs of something new. And that's kind of how we are with baseball. I think that's how a lot of kids are with sports or life or school or new friends.
The lines were long, but that didn't deter fans. They got autographed copies of the book. Tell me about the other books, Ruth.
Well, so our first book was called By My Brother's Side. It was the first one we did. It was a labor of love. It was a true story about me riding on a construction site down in Roanoke, Virginia, and I wrecked and ripped my knee open, and I couldn't play sports that summer, and it was devastating. But my brother was always there with me. He was always telling me, I'm here with you. You're going to get better. You're going to be fine. And football season rolls around, and I'm able to play. And it's about my mom and her perseverance with us and mentoring and always getting us to study. And so we decided to write another one, and we wrote another one. And eventually we said, you know what, those kids, those little, 7 and 8 year olds that are reading those books are soon going to want to read chapter books. So we wrote our first chapter book called Kickoff. It was about us graduating from Little League to middle school, where the dynamics are completely different. You're not on a disorganized team, you're on an organized team. You have coaches and dynamics. You got to try out. You're not just anointed to a position, and the struggles of going to school now, as well as playing a sport. And we just kept expanding on those, 5 of those, and eventually moved on to basketball and now baseball.
And Tiki even signed Memorabilia. He also took photos with many of the fans.
This is fun. I like people. I like interacting with people. I love the reactions on kids' faces when they see me as an athlete or see me as an author, which is interesting because a lot of these younger kids, that's what they'll primarily see me as someone who wrote a book, not as someone who was on a gridiron for 10 years and banging my head in for the New York Giants, because they were babies when I was playing the game, but they can still interact and relate to me because of the words that we put on paper.
Tiki's a bit of a geek and has an e-commerce business. You're a computer science guy, a coder, huh?
Yeah, I was a geek. I was valedictorian in my high school. I went to UVA because I wanted a great education, and accidentally became a really good football player. The guy in front of me hurt his hamstring.
How come those kind of accidents don't happen to me?
Preparedness, there's opportunity and preparedness, and that's what some people call luck. And I was lucky but prepared, and really took off as a college athlete, and propelled me into this football career that lasted for 10 years. But in the back of my mind, I was always that geek. I wanted to design and build things, and the problem was they didn't design in COBOL anymore, or even C++. It's evolved so much in the programming languages, but it led to a labor of love, which was building an e-commerce business that athletes can use to book local engagements with either business consumers or individual customers who want them to come to basketball parties or bar mitzvahs or corporate speaking events or flag football games or pick up basketball games. It's called Thuzio.com, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Can you spell it?
Thuzio.com, and we based it off of the word enthusiast because we know that everybody's an enthusiast of something. A lot of sports, But eventually we're moving out of sports and getting into musicians and authors and actors and other types of celebrities who want to engage with their communities.
Tiki is one of the nicest athletes I've ever met, and he really enjoyed signing autographs for the crowds. Kudos to Tiki Barber. Books and Greetings is a rare breed these days. It's a tremendous store, and you have to check it out in Northvale, New Jersey. Hey, you can even show up for an autograph signing. They have them all the time. I'm Michael Artsis. Be terrific.